Hello, my friends. Welcome to Soul Tranquility Space. Tonight, we are going to open a book that you think you know, but we are going to read the pages that were never written. We are going to visit a story about a girl, a forest, and a hidden cottage. But this is not a story about escaping a villain. It is a story about escaping the pressure to be perfect. It is a story about finding a home where you don't have to check your reflection in the mirror to know that you are worthy. Before we step into the woods, let us first find a place of comfort in your own world. Lie down and let your body sink into the mattress. Imagine that you are taking off a heavy, tight costume that you have worn all day. Perhaps it is the costume of the responsible one. Perhaps it is the costume of the strong one. Whatever role you have been playing, you can take it off now, tonight. You don't have to be the fairest of them all. You just have to be you. Take a deep breath in, imagining you are breathing in the scent of wild apples and damp earth. And exhale. Letting go of the need to impress anyone. Inhale. Inviting warmth into your chest. Exhale. Releasing the cold judgment of the day. Your eyes are heavy. Your heart is open. Once upon a time is right now. Imagine you are standing at the gates of a magnificent castle. The Castle of Mirrors. Everything here is made of glass and polished diamond. The floors are so shiny. You can see your face in them. The walls are lined with mirrors, constantly asking you, who is the fairest? Who is the best? It is beautiful, yes. But it is cold. It is a place where you cannot make a mistake. You cannot spill tea. You cannot have messy hair. You cannot cry, because it would smudge the glass. For a long time, you thought this was what success looked like. Perfection. Symmetry, silence. But tonight, your soul is hungry for something else. You are hungry for warmth. You are hungry for something real. So, you open the heavy back gate. You step out. You leave the mirrors behind. You walk into the deep forest. At first, the forest seems wild and untamed. There are no straight lines here. The trees are twisted and gnarled, covered in thick moss. The roots grow over the path, creating natural steps. The wind rustles the leaves, singing a song that has no words. But as you walk deeper, you realize that this chaos is beautiful. It is the beauty of life growing freely. Nobody tells the oak tree, it is too crooked. Nobody tells the fern, it is too short. Everything here is allowed to be exactly what it is. And for the first time in years, you feel your own breath syncing with the rhythm of the earth. You walk for what feels like hours, but your legs do not tire. The deeper you go, the warmer it gets. The cold, judgmental air of the castle is replaced by a cozy, earthy humidity. You smell wood smoke. Not the acrid smoke of a burning city, but the sweet, fragrant smoke of a hearth that cooks soup and warms feet. You follow the scent. You push aside a curtain of weeping willow branches, and there it is, the cottage. It is not grand. In fact, it is quite small. It looks like a mushroom that has sprouted from the forest floor. The roof is made of thick straw, slightly lopsided, covered in patches of green moss. The chimney is puffing out cheerful white smoke rings. The windows are small and round, glowing with a golden, buttery light. It is the definition of imperfect. Nothing is symmetrical. The door is a little crooked. The garden is overgrown with pumpkins and wildflowers tangled together. But looking at it makes your chest feel warm. It doesn't look like a monument to be admired. It looks like a hug waiting to happen. You walk up the cobblestone path. You reach the door. It is made of thick oak with iron hinges that look like vines. You don't need a key. This kind of home doesn't lock its heart. You push the door open, creak, and you are hit by a wave of sensory comfort. The air inside is thick and warm. It smells of baking bread, cinnamon, dried herbs, and old leather. It smells of living. You step inside and close the door behind you. The silence of the castle is gone. This room is alive with sounds. The ticking of 7 different clocks, none of them perfectly synchronized. The bubbling of a large pot on the stove. The crackling of a fire. That seems too big for the fireplace. You look around. The room is cluttered, but not messy. It is a happy clutter. There are 7 little chairs around a wooden table. Each chair is different. One is carved with owls. One is padded with soft velvet. One is plain and sturdy. There are 7 mugs hanging on the wall. Some are chipped. Some are stained with tea. There are socks drying by the fire. There are musical instruments scattered in the corner. A lute, a flute, a drum. In the Castle of Mirrors, everything was identical. Uniformity was the rule. Here, everything is unique. This is a house of personalities. You realize that 7 different souls live here. 7 different ways of seeing the world. And somehow, they all fit into this one small room. You feel a sense of safety that you have never felt before. Because in a house that is already a little messy, you don't have to be afraid of making a mess. You don't have to be afraid of being yourself. You walk towards the fire. There is a large, comfortable armchair. They're big enough for a human, not a dwarf. It's as if they were expecting you. You sit down. The cushions are soft and worn. They embrace your shape. You look at the firelight dancing on the rough wooden beams of the ceiling. You are far away from the mirrors now. There is no reflection here to judge you. There is only the warmth to hold you. The sanctuary of imperfection. We spend so much of our lives trying to build a castle of mirrors. We want our careers to be shiny, our relationships to be flawless, our bodies to be perfect. But the soul can't rest on a surface that is too smooth. We slide off. The soul needs texture. It needs the nooks and crannies of imperfection to hold on to. This cottage represents the part of your heart that is willing to be messy, the part of you that is okay with a chipped mug, as long as the tea inside is hot, the part of you that values feeling good over looking good. Tonight, you are safe here. You are safe to be a work in progress. As you sit there, you hear a sound in the distance. Hi-ho, hi-ho, a rhythmic marching beat. They are coming home. The inhabitants of this sanctuary. You might feel a moment of nervousness. Will they accept you? Will they think you are too tall, too clumsy, too much like the castle people? But then you remember, these are the miners of the earth. They spend their days digging for diamonds in the dark. They know how to look past the rough surface to find the gem inside. They won't judge your exterior. They will see your light. They are here. The dwellers of the cottage have returned from the mines. But do not fear. They are not strangers. As they shake the snow from their hats and hang up their picks, you realize they look familiar. They are the parts of you, the parts you often hide away in the Castle of Mirrors, now coming home to rest. the family of feelings. Look at them in the soft, golden light of the lantern. There is the caretaker, Doc, bustling about, wiping his glasses, checking the soup pot. He represents your anxiety, yeah, but also your desire to keep everyone safe. He is the one who makes sure the door is locked at night. There is the protector, Grumpy. He walks in with a frown crossing his arms. In the world above, he is called Negative. But here, we know the truth. He scowls to keep the soft parts safe. He is your boundary. He is the wall that protects the garden. There is the Radiance, happy, smiling simply because the fire is warm. There is the heavy-lidded one, sleepy, dragging his feet, representing your sacred need for rest. And the quiet ones, the sensitive, the shy, the innocent. They all crowd into the small room. The space immediately fills with body heat and the smell of wool and damp earth. It is a crowded room, yes. But it is not claustrophobic. It feels like a nest. You sit in your armchair watching them. You instinctively straighten your back. You smooth your hair. The old habit of the castle returns. I must be perfect to be allowed to stay. But then, the caretaker turns to you. He doesn't ask for your name. He doesn't ask if you have washed your hands or polished your shoes. He simply points to an empty wooden chair at the head of the table. There is a bowl waiting there. Soup is ready, he says. And just like that, the wall between guest and family dissolves. My friends, look at that empty chair. It has been waiting for you. If this little cottage feels like the safe harbor you have been looking for, if you are ready to take your place at this table of imperfect, messy, warm love, I invite you to subscribe to our channel now. Think of clicking that button as pulling out your chair. It is your way of saying, I am staying. I belong here. We have saved this seat just for you. You move to the table and sit down. The wood of the chair is smooth and worn by years of use. It feels solid beneath you. The caretaker ladles the soup into your bowl. Steam rises up, warming your face. It is a thick, hearty vegetable stew. It is imperfect soup. The carrots are cut into uneven chunks. The potatoes still have their skins on. It hasn't been strained or refined to look like the clear broths of the castle. It is full of lumps and bumps. It tastes incredible. It tastes like root vegetables that have slept in the dark earth. It tastes of thyme and black pepper. It spreads a heavy, comforting heat through your chest, down to your stomach, all the way to your frozen toes. This is not food for show. This is food for the soul. You look around the table. To your left, the protector, Grumpy, is eating silently. He doesn't smile at you, and you realize that is okay. You don't have to perform for him. You don't have to make him like you. He is allowed to be grumpy. And you are allowed to be here. You are sharing the same bread. That is enough. To your right, the heavy-lidded one, Sleepy, is nodding off. His head dips dangerously close to his bowl. But before he slips, the protector gently nudges him upright with his elbow. He doesn't say a word. He just catches him. Rough love. This is what love looks like here. It isn't poetry. It isn't grand gestures. It is simply noticing when someone is falling and nudging them back up. It is rough, silent, and absolutely reliable. You reach for a piece of crusty bread. In your relaxation, your hand slips. Clatter. Your spoon hits the floor. A splash of soup lands on the table. You freeze. In the castle of mirrors, the music would stop. Everyone would stare at your clumsiness. You would be ashamed. You wait for the scolding. But nothing happens. The Radiance, happy, just chuckles and passes you a cloth. The caretaker hands you a new spoon. Nobody stops eating. The mess is part of the meal. You exhale, a breath you didn't know you were holding. You are allowed to make a mess. You are allowed to be clumsy. You are allowed to be a work in progress. And you will still be fed. Think of this dinner table as your own heart. For so long you tried to keep your heart like a formal dining room, clean, empty, and cold. But tonight, look at the life here. Look at the crumbs on the table. Listen to the mismatched voices. See how your anger passes the salt to your joy. See how your anxiety puts a blanket around your exhaustion. They are a family. They may be loud. They may be messy. But they belong together. And you are the host of this wonderful, chaotic gathering. You don't need to banish any part of yourself to find peace. You just need to feed them all. The pot is scraped clean. The bellies are full. The frantic energy of the arrival has settled into a heavy, drowsy contentment. The fire has burned down to glowing red embers casting long, soft shadows on the walls. The caretaker starts to clear the table, but he moves slowly, humming a little tune. You lean back in your chair. You unbutton the top button of your coat. You feel heaviness, not the heavy burden of stress. but the good heaviness of nourishment, the heaviness of a body that feels safe enough to stop holding itself up. You look at your reflection in the darkened window. It is faint, barely there. You are not the fairest of them all. You are something better. You are full. You are warm. You are home. The feast is over. The heavy contentment of the meal settles over the cottage like a warm blanket. Outside, the wind has picked up again, howling softly around the eaves. Ooh! But inside, the thick walls hold the warmth. The contrast only makes the room feel safer. It is time for the evening ritual. It is time for the music. In the Castle of Mirrors, music was a performance. It was precise. It was flawless. If you hit a wrong note, the conductor would rap his baton and you would freeze in shame. But here, music is not for showing off. Music is for winding down. One by one, the others join in. The caretaker pulls out a small wooden flute. He blows a few notes. Breath, note. Breath. It sounds like a bird calling in the twilight. The protector doesn't play an instrument. Instead, he starts to drum softly on the wooden table with his calloused fingers. Tap, tap, thump. It is a steady, grounding rhythm. It is the heartbeat of the house. Even the silent one joins in. He picks up 2 metal spoons and clicks them together gently. Clink, clink. It is not perfect. Sometimes the flute squeaks. Sometimes the guitar buzzes. But nobody stops. Nobody apologizes. They just smile and keep playing. The melody fills the room. It weaves through the smell of wood smoke and drying herbs. It wraps around your shoulders. You find yourself swaying slightly in your armchair. Left and right. Left and right. You are not just listening to the music. You are part of it. You realize that this orchestra has room for you too. You don't have an instrument, so you begin to hum. A low, vibrating hum in your chest. It feels good to make a sound without worrying. If it is good, it releases the tension in your throat, the tension of all the words you had to swallow today. Let it out. Add your voice to the imperfect symphony. The harmony of differences. Listen to how the deep drum of the protector, supports the high flute of the caretaker. Listen to how the silly spoon clicks of the innocent add joy to the sad melody of the lute. They are all playing different tunes, yet they fit together. This is harmony. Harmony is not about everyone singing the same note. Harmony is about different notes, agreeing to share the same space. Think of the conflicting parts of yourself. Your fear and your courage, your sadness and your hope. They don't have to fight. They can play a duet. Tonight, let them play together. Let your sadness provide the bass line, and let your hope play the melody. Together, they make the song of you. The music begins to slow down, slower, quieter. The heavy-lidded one has stopped playing entirely. He is curled up on the rug near the fire, using a large pumpkin as a pillow. His soft snoring adds a new rhythm to the song. Inhale, snore. Nobody wakes him up. The music simply adjusts to accommodate him. The guitar gets softer. The flute becomes a whisper. The lights in the cottage are dimming now. The caretaker walks around, blowing out the lanterns, one by one. Puff, puff. Only the fire remains, casting a warm, orange glow on the 7 little faces. They look tired. They look content. They have worked hard. They have eaten well. They have sung their song. And now, the day is done. You feel a wave of exhaustion wash over you. But it is a delicious exhaustion. It is the feeling of a heavy coat sliding off your shoulders. You sink deeper into the armchair. Your eyelids feel like they are made of heavy velvet. You watch the embers in the fireplace, pulsing, glow, fade, glow, fade. The music has become just a hum now, a vibration in the air, a lullaby for the weary. The concert is ending, and there is no applause. In the castle, you lived for the applause. You lived for the validation. Here, there is no audience. There is only the quiet satisfaction of having shared a moment. You realize you don't need the world to clap for you, to feel good. You just need to feel the vibration of your own life. You are enough. Your song is enough. Even the cracked notes, especially the cracked notes, because that's where the light gets in. The last note fades into silence. total stillness returns to the cottage. But it is not the empty silence of the beginning. It is a filled silence. It is filled with love, with soup, with music, with acceptance. The protector stands up and stretches. He looks at you for the first time. The scowl is gone. His face is soft. He nods at you, a sign of respect, and then he points to a door at the back of the room. The door to the sleeping quarters. Rest, he whispers. It is not a command. It is a blessing. You follow the protector through the wooden door. You step into the sleeping quarters. It is a long, low room with a slanted ceiling, tucked right under the eaves of the thatched roof. The air here is cooler than the kitchen, fresh and still. It smells of lavender bundles hanging from the rafters and clean sun-dried linen. And there lined up against the walls are the beds. Not one lonely bed in a vast empty hall, but 7 small beds. And one larger bed near the window, waiting for you. They are wooden beds, carved with vines and leaves. They are not identical. One has a blue blanket. One has a red one. One is piled high with pillows. This is not a dormitory of soldiers. It is a resting place for individuals. You watch as the 7 dwarfs prepare for sleep. It is a quiet, comfortable routine. They hang their hats on the pegs. They place their glasses on the nightstands. They move with the slowness of those who have worked hard and earned their rest. There is no talking now, just the soft sounds of settling down. Rustle, squeak of a mattress, a contented sigh. You realize how safe it feels to be surrounded by others. To know that you are not the only one closing your eyes tonight. You are a part of a slumbering family. You walk to your bed. It looks incredibly inviting. The mattress is thick, stuffed with soft straw and wool, and covering it is a magnificent patchwork quilt. Look at it closely in the dim light. It is made of hundreds of different squares of fabric. Some are velvet, some are cotton, some are rough wool, some are checkered, some are floral, some are plain. It is a chaotic mix of colors and textures. In the castle of mirrors, this quilt would be hidden away. It is not matching, but here, it is a masterpiece. It represents your life. The bright squares are your happy days. The dark squares are your sad nights. The rough patches are your struggles. The soft patches are your loves. Stitched together, they make something warm. They make something whole. You pull the quilt back and slide into bed. The sheets are cool at first, but quickly warm up against your skin. You pull the patchwork quilt up to your chin. You are covering yourself with your own story, and for the first time, you don't want to edit the story. You don't want to rip out the dark squares, because without them, the quilt wouldn't be big enough to keep you warm. You accept it all. The mess, the beauty, the whole tapestry. Now, the lamps are blown out. Puff. The room plunges into a soft, velvety darkness. Only a little moonlight filters through the round window, painting a silver circle on the floor. You lie on your back, staring up at the dark wooden beams. You listen. To your left, you hear the deep, rhythmic breathing of the Protector. Even in sleep, he is steady. He is guarding you. You can tell your own defenses. It is okay to rest now. The Protector is on duty. I don't have to be on guard. To your right, you hear the soft, whistling breath of the Radiance. He is dreaming of sunshine. And further away, the gentle snoring of the Caretaker. These sounds surround you like a lullaby. You are in the middle of a safety circle. Nothing can reach you here without passing through them first. Now, let us say good night to the parts of yourself, just as you would say good night to friends in a shared room. Imagine speaking to your anxiety. Whisper to it, "Good night, anxiety. Thank you for trying to keep me safe today. You worked hard organizing everything, but the door is locked now. You can put down your clipboard. Sleep now. Feel a part of your brain relax, as if a tight knot has loosened." Imagine speaking to your anger. Whisper to it, "Good night, anger. Thank you for standing guard. Thank you for knowing my worth. You don't have to fight right now. The war is over for the day. Put down your shield. Sleep now. Feel your jaw unclench. Feel your shoulders drop. Imagine speaking to your silliness. Whisper to it, "Good night, joy. Thank you for the laughter. Thank you for the mess. You are my spark. Rest now, so you can shine tomorrow." Feel a soft smile on your face. Imagine speaking to your sadness. "Good night, sadness. You're welcome here too. You give me depth. I am not afraid of you. We are sharing this warm quilt together. Sleep now." Everything is quieting down. The voices in your head are curling up in their little beds. They are pulling their own quilts up. The committee meeting in your mind is adjourned. There is only the sound of breathing. Inhale. Exhale. You are breathing in sync with the house. You are breathing in sync with the forest outside. The boundaries of your body are beginning to melt. You don't feel like a separate person anymore. You feel like part of the warm air in the room. You are melting into the mattress, melting into the floorboards, melting into the roots of the cottage, deep down into the earth that holds the roots of the trees, the earth that holds the diamonds in the mines. You are held. You are hidden. You are home. The castle of mirrors is miles away. It is cold and empty tonight. But here in the Cottage of Imperfection, it is warm. The soup was good. The music was sweet. The bed is soft, and you are loved, not because you are perfect, but simply because you are here. The mess is beautiful. The cracks are where the light comes in, and the night is gentle. Sleep now, my friends. Sleep with your family of feelings. Good night.